In the Power universe, the action never stops, and with Power Legacy, we're going to see chaos reach its peak. Tommy's back, and this time he's teamed up with a new crime partner, Tariq. Together, they'll be trying to take over a city we've never seen before, one that's far more dangerous, with enemies unlike anything we've seen so far. And yes, with Power Legacy, we might even see the return of a character we've all missed. I know you can't wait any longer, so let me tell you what's going to happen in the first episode of Power Legacy. You might be thinking, wait, Tommy hasn't even fully taken over Chicago yet, so where's this new city coming from? So first, let me quickly explain what's going to happen in Power Book 4 Force before we jump into Power Legacy. As you know, Force will end with its third season, and in this action-packed final season, we'll finally see how the story in Chicago wraps up. At the end of Season 2 of Force, we saw a war break out between Tommy and Miguel after Miguel kidnapped Mireya. From both the teasers and the trailer, it's clear that Miguel is the main villain this season, and we'll see Tommy in multiple life-or-death situations, with guns pressed to his head. And of course, Miguel alone won't be enough to stop Tommy Egan. That's why, early in the season, we'll see Claudia Flynn and Mirkovich, who Tommy barely managed to put in jail, both getting out of prison and causing trouble for Tommy. Plus, we can't forget King Kilo, who's going to chase after the CBI. You might think that's enough, but there's still more. Tommy's enemies aren't just outside, they're also close to him. Jannard and Shanti. These two traitors will wait all season for Tommy's weakest moment so they can stab him in the back. And don't forget Vic Flynn, who's now working with the FBI. He's going to be a huge threat for Tommy as well. So, how is our Tommy Egan going to handle all these enemies? From what we've seen in the teaser and trailer, his main supporters will be D-Mac and Diamond. But honestly, I don't see these three taking down everyone alone. We're going to need a real ghost. That's why we'll see Tariq show up near the end of Force's third season to help his uncle Tommy. As you know, in the original Power, Tommy and Tariq said they could always reach out to each other in their toughest times. And at the end of Power Book 2 Ghost, we saw that Tariq answered that call, and it was obvious it came from Tommy, because Tariq said, "Family for life." I'm sure that call will lead to Tariq entering Force in a big way, helping Tommy take down every enemy in Chicago one by one. So after these two take over Chicago, what's next? That's where we get into Power Legacy. After seeing how successful they were in Chicago, Tariq will decide to expand their operations to a new city. He wants Tommy by his side, and Tommy, wanting to return the favor, agrees to join him on this adventure. Their next stop? London, the city we can call the world's capital. Let's take a look at who will come with them. Starting with Tommy's crew, we'll see D-Mac fully baptized by the end of Force's third season. I think D-Mac will finally become a real war machine, much more mature, and in London, he'll definitely be Tommy's eyes and ears on the streets. Alongside him, Mireya will be there too. Because of Miguel, their love life was constantly disrupted, but in London, they will finally have a chance to be together without obstacles. And the last person I expect to come with Tommy is Kate Egan. However, there's a possibility that we might have an emotional goodbye for Kate in Force's final season. So, it's still uncertain. For Tariq's team, it's almost certain that Brayden and Effie will join him. Nobody can figure out London's streets and how to set up operations better than these two. So from the very first episode, we'll see them actively scouting the city. But there's one problem. Effie's actress spent a day in jail. She's free now, but since she was charged with one count of third-degree cruelty to children and one count of disorderly conduct, it's unclear if Stars will continue with her. That's why there are rumors that 2-Bit, who might have already settled in London before them, could become one of Tariq's right-hand men. Honestly, seeing 2-Bit back would make me extremely happy, because Tariq is going to need people he can truly trust in this new and dangerous city. So the team is set. But who will be the first big enemy in the first episode? At the start, I mentioned that a character we've missed would return, but not in the way we expect. This character is coming back as a villain. When the team starts exploring London and looking into obstacles, They'll be shocked by who they find. London's streets are actually controlled by James St. Patrick, someone they all thought was dead years ago, but who secretly moved to London, built his operations there, and has been living like a real ghost. I'm very curious to see Tariq's reaction when he sees his father alive, someone he thought he had killed. And the biggest question will definitely be what Tommy thinks. On one side, he has Tariq, who saved him in Chicago, and on the other, he has Ghost, who he considered like a brother. At this point, Power Legacy could turn into a story where Tommy switches sides between Tariq and Ghost. But in the first episodes, Tommy will of course stand by Tariq, at least until he sees Ghost in person. And if you're wondering, Ghost was dead, how is he coming back? We never actually saw Ghost completely die, and we know that Omari Hardwick, who plays Ghost, has said many times that he didn't like how Ghost's death was handled. That's why stars will see Power Legacy as a perfect opportunity to bring back the old Power vibe. Along with the old Power energy, we'll also see new enemies and allies. In London, we'll see Irish mobsters roaming the streets and English friends who will help the team, all starting from the first episode. So, when will we actually get to watch this action-packed, twist-filled series? Right now, there's no production update for Power Legacy, but the team has already started working on another spin-off, Power Origins. Once Force and Raising Kanan finish, and after Power Origins' first season airs, it will finally be Power Legacy's turn. It's still too early to talk about a release date, but you know how much Power loves Christmas. That's why I think Christmas 2027 might just get canceled this time because of Tommy and Tariq. Alright, now it's your turn. What do you want to see in Power Legacy? Do you want Ghost to come back and see a confrontation between Tommy and Ghost in the streets of London? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget to like the video and subscribe for more Power Legacy and Power Universe updates. See you in the next one.